Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Daily DMs. Today we're doing something a little bit different. This is a show where we go into your DMs or your questions on YouTube and we answer those questions in a little bit longer format. Today, the special thing we're doing is today is the first YouTube comment that we are going to answer. And that comment came from Sunday Service, our podcast that we stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. Let's get into it. Okay, so the question came from AbberantArt on my YouTube channel when we streamed Sunday Service on the 27th of December. The question is, Pace, do you fear the coming recession or depression, the inflation and increased taxes on the way? Or are you so rich it doesn't make a difference? Oh my gosh, I wish that was the case. I don't think anybody, even worth billions and billions of dollars, doesn't fear the loss during a depression, etc. Right? You want to protect yourself. You want to put yourself in good situations. So let's get into it. My answer is yes. I'm fearful of it. I'm fearful that I'm not completely set up to take the most advantage of the situation as possible. I remember back in 2008, I was a contractor. So I was building things back in 2008 when the market crashed. I wasn't in real estate. I didn't have cash. I didn't understand creative finance. I didn't understand wholesale. I didn't understand fix and flip. All I knew was to trade my time for money. Now I'm in a completely different situation. I'm fearful that I'm not ready enough. I do understand creative finance at a pretty high level. I would say I'm probably one of the best people at articulating creative finance and one of the few people I know that are implementing it as often as we are. But I still fear that we are not poised enough to take advantage of what's coming down the pipe. Other than that, I don't fear losing value on my homes because I buy for long-term gain. So if one of my rentals loses its value overnight, one thing I know for sure is I will still cash flow on that property. For years and years and years to come, I don't care what the market does, up and down, up and down. What I care about when the market shifts is, am I in a good position to buy more properties faster? Because I know one thing about real estate is that you do not lose in real estate if you hold on to the property long enough. So for us, most of our acquisitions through Subto, seller finance, and even buying and exchanging notes comes from the standpoint of holding those properties for 30, 40, or even 50 years. So a short-term loss in the market, even if the market dips 100% and my house worth 100 grand goes down to 50 grand or $0, I know I can still rent that property out. I do my research in my market. So for example, Maricopa County has not lost rents in over 50 years, other than a little bit of adjustments over time. But in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, when the market went all the way down and it hit the rock bottom, guess what was happening that entire time? Rent rates were going up. And we're currently seeing that right now. In 2020 and going into 2021, we're seeing our rent rates go crazy, absolutely crazy. So for me, when a bad economy forces people to not be able to qualify for mortgages, guess what they still have to do? They still have to rent properties. And because I'm set up to have a lot of rentals, all I do is gain more money and more position in a down market. So no, I'm not fearful of it. I do fear that I have not done a good enough job to prepare for basically the land grab that's going to be going on with highly intelligent, sophisticated buyers, investors, etc. I know one shortcut is creative finance. I know that people that are using the BRRRR strategy, great strategy. We've used it multiple times. It just takes so much time. And what happens when the economy changes, the lenders change their guidelines as well. And so you won't be able to buy as many homes using the BRRRR strategy. You've got to utilize creative finance to continually buy in great amounts. So Subto, seller finance, we just bought 30 properties while we were doing one BRRRR. I bought 30 Subto and seller finances while I did one BRRRR. So that tells you I'm set up in a creative finance situation to absolutely crush the market in 2021, 22, 23, and 24. The other reason I'm not fearful of the market completely imploding is because we've been through this before. We've been through 2008 with a big market crash. These banks, knowing what happened from 2008 all the way through, those banks would have done way better not foreclosing on everybody. Okay. With all the bailouts from the government and all the things that are going on, oh my gosh, I think what's going to happen is more than anything is if you learn how to do loan modifications and help sellers out of bad situations by doing loan modifications, putting their arrears on the back of the loan, you will be able to be purchasing a lot more subject to properties in 21, 22, and 23 than anybody could ever buy with traditional or BRRRR strategy types of purchases. So no, I'm not fearful for that either. Now, you say inflation and increased taxes. So check this out. This is what I love about inflation. My rentals hedge me and protect me against inflation. So let's say the purchasing power of $1 goes from $1 down to 90 cents. Guess what happens? That means it takes more money to buy a house, right? However, all the houses I already own will also gain in value as inflation increases. So my property, all my real estate holdings will protect me against inflation. So for us, we reinvest most of our money into more properties. And it's just a big domino effect to the point where, yes, one day we will have so much money, it's not that important. However, it's always a game. You might be at this level today, but in 30 years with $1 billion, I'm still playing the same game. I just have different resources. So I'm never going to be fearless. I'm always going to fear something. And that fear drives me to take action. And I love that more than anything else, is understanding what pushes me to do this or that, etc. So the answer is, I'm reading the comment. Do you fear the coming recession or depression? No, I fear not being entirely ready. The inflation and increased taxes on the way, I'm protected against inflation. Increased taxes, I use tax strategies through my rental properties to avoid paying most taxes that most consumers pay. Or are you so rich it doesn't make a difference? No, it does make a difference. And the final answer to that is this. Just because I have cash flow and just because I have money and just because I have resources through experience in buying Subto, seller finance, etc., doesn't mean I shouldn't have a stockpile of cash to protect myself from renters not paying their rent. So what I teach my students at subto.com is I teach my students to accumulate what we call a war chest. So if you ever have to go to war with an individual tenant or any sort of bad situation, you have the cash to do that. So if you are buying a lease option or you're buying a Subto and you're selling it on a lease option, I tell people to accumulate 5% of your rent goes into a war chest. If it's a rental in a really good area, 10%. If it's a rental in a bad area, it could go up to 20% of your income from the rents goes into a war chest to protect yourself from future late payments or defaults or having to foreclose or having to kick somebody out of a property through an eviction. So utilizing a war chest method and putting a good portion of our money to the side protects us against those types of things. So I love the question. It's such a great question. I could talk about it for hours and hours. So AbberantArt, thank you so much for jumping into Sunday service on Sunday, 7 p.m., asking the question. I wasn't able to get to it during the live show, but I'm happy that we got to it today on the daily DMs. Guys, if you're watching this, please let me know what we can do better. Please let me know what you want us to focus more time and energy on. Do you want more whiteboard videos? Do you want more walkthroughs on properties? What will help you in your business understand how to take more action and make more money? If you guys need discounts for anything in your business, whether it's pulling lists, skip tracing, or anything like that, go down to the links below. I have discounts on just about everything to get you into this business. Go down, check it out, and on your way down there, please like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell icon, please, so we know we're doing a good job for you. Once again, thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Daily DMs.